My next patron question is from the Master of Gaming, who wants to know if one of the former top studios can get back to that status again. It's ironic you said Lionsgate will become the first mini-major to transition to a major studio. Amazon MGM, I think, has what it takes to become a major studio. Amazon MGM could replace 20th Century Fox and especially WB after being merged into Disney and Paramount respectively. Do you think Amazon MGM Studios will become a major studio? With MGM becoming part of Amazon a few years ago, I have noticed there's been a genuine effort by them to try and regain that footing and become one of the top movie studios again. MGM, of course, used to be the biggest Hollywood studio, but various corporate decisions and even selling off their library to Ted Turner in the 80s led to them losing that status. As I mentioned in a video I did some years ago about the rise and fall of MGM, I feel if they had not merged with United Artists and got on that library, along with the distribution rights to James Bond, MGM might not even exist today. There was some fear when Amazon bought MGM they would just make films for streaming, but Amazon instead seems to use MGM as their theatrical arm. They of course had a massive success this year with Project Hail Mary, which provided the spectacle and crowd-pleasing elements audiences look for in their movies. And shortly after that film's release, Mike Hopkins, the current head of Amazon MGM Studios, announced at CinemaCon that he planned to release about 15 movies in theaters per year. So they seem to have ambitions to get MGM operating similar to the other big studios out there, with a mix of tentpoles and other types of productions for theaters. They've even helped Orion Pictures have a bit of a comeback with Oscar-winning movies like Women Talking and American Fiction, and gotten attention for other films like Bottoms and Till. Regarding some of MGM's other movies this year, The Sheep Detectives performed okay, but nothing spectacular, while Masters of the Universe was a massive flop. But hey, the big studios also have their share of well-received underperformers and box office failures, so that should not disqualify MGM from becoming a major again. As for what they have coming out in the future, I Play Rocky is something they seem to have confidence in and could wind up a crowd-pleasing awards contender. They also have Verity, an adaptation of a Colleen Hoover book, and those seem to have a decent track record at the box office. They've already started advertising Michael B. Jordan's Thomas Crown Affair remake, and the marketing for Spaceballs, the new one, has been on point so far. They seem to be revving up script development on a number of other projects, whether based on a book, using a property MGM already owns, or finding new ones to handle. They recently made a deal to make Michael Mann's Heat sequel, and are reportedly letting him do it the way he wants after previous production deals with Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Sony did not work out. And of course, they now have control over the James Bond franchise and are working to bring the next movie to screens, which will be done by new producers David Heyman and Amy Pascal and directed by Denis Villeneuve. I'm sure that will generate a lot of interest, especially depending on who they cast as 007, and will likely be positioned as a massive tentpole. They're also working on setting up international distribution operations around the world, although to smooth the transition, Sony is distributing MGM movies in several territories. Then once that deal expires, we'll possibly see MGM taking care of their own distribution in the entire world. Meanwhile, MGM has the advantage of being owned by maybe the most widely used shopping website in the world, which can directly market their movies to consumers. Not that being owned by Amazon has not created a few issues. Jeff Bezos basically forced MGM into spending a lot of money buying Brett Ratner's documentary Melania, which was a notorious flop. And recently, MGM decided to sell off Artificial, a movie that takes a very critical view of Sam Altman because Amazon had signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Altman's company OpenAI. Artificial is now being released by Neon, which is at least preferable to just letting it stay locked away. But MGM is not the first nor last studio that has been required to release or not release certain movies on the orders of their corporate parents. Then there are filmmakers who would like to see that films get theatrical releases, but are primarily relegated to Prime Video instead. Doug Liman expressed his disappointment that his Roadhouse remake would not get a theatrical release, and it's surprising that despite playing at multiple prestigious film festivals, Hedda was only given a small limited release to qualify for awards before going on Prime a week later. Those issues aside, I can definitely see a possibility that once their full theatrical capabilities are showcased, they will be allowed back into the major studios. We'll see where Amazon MGM Studios goes from here, but I'm definitely curious about their future. Thank you for the question, Master of Gaming.